very much care about how we as human beings are able to act on terms of consumption. Why not put a tag on a cloth if you don't know how it's colored? If it's colored with heavy metal, why not put a sticker on it say may cause cancer? I mean, this is a global issue. This is not a Danish, this is not an Indian, this is not an Australian issue. This is global. We don't have to go many decades back. We would still have a high percentage of the population that would be able to put in a button or, repair small things in these. But my own generations, and I think my parents' generation, kind of got lost there. It comes with the fast fashion in terms of clothing. My startup in all this, that was basically just trying to use my toolbox. My toolbox is retail industry, to be able to create a voice in an ever-changing world. So when we started back in 2016 defining how should it be, what should it be, and it all came down to respect, and it had come down to resources. And that's where the name Resres is from. The three first letters in both names, respect resources. My name is Søren. I'm the founder of Resres here in Copenhagen, Denmark. So we are located in a newly voted coolest neighborhood of the world called Nørrebro. We've been here since 2016. We started in the first location, where we then 3 years later extended to the neighbor location. So Resres is about choosing the right products from our standpoint in all aspects. So if we take a pair of jeans, we want to make sure that they're made out of raw materials which is not including pesticides, which is taking care of the farmer, which is taking care of the co-workers there. We make sure that the jeans have a lifetime repair service. So we will extend a lifetime of our products as much as possible. Resres is a concept store. We are carrying brands from all over the world. Yes, we do focus locally, but for me there is misleading in that only local things can be a sustainable choice in the fashion industry. So some of the brands we are carrying, for example, be Nudie Jeans. Nudie Jeans has a production from India to Portugal, and their take on it is that they want to go where they have the best outcome of a product. That's our take as well. They work with a Fair Wear Foundation, making sure that we can come as close to a living wage in a country like India. Criteria for a brand to be represented in Resres comes very much from the aesthetic side. We always go out and say, do we think it suits the Scandinavian market? Does it suit the area we are in here in Denmark? Does it suit our selection? Next step is where we then start evaluating on behalf of their transparency and on their willing to cooperate in proving what they're doing or not doing, most importantly. Because for us, it's in what they're not doing we see the potential. So in here, we are coming to the, I would say, men's department and where we do our repairs. This is where we're doing approximately 1,000 pairs of repairs every year. All these are recently made for customers. And if we continue further, come to our jeans table, where we have all our models, all the color range, all the different aspects. Our cooperation with Veja started from the very beginning. It was at that point one of the few and basically the sustainable sneaker brand. They are produced in Brazil, where they're close to their natural resources, both in terms of wild rubber. The leather, when it's plastic, it's made out of recycled plastic. Everything from bottle waste from Sao Paulo or Rio de Janeiro. Their totally philosophy and working process of taking the wild rubber from the Amazonas and getting the wild rubber from a rubber tree, cut some slices in the tree, and you can only tap a certain amount of the liquid rubber, otherwise the tree will die. So they go out and say to a rubber farmer, you will get the same amount of money for the rubber as if you were having cows, or because meat has a very high price in Brazil. They are protecting the rainforest by doing this. So no matter what jeans you buy by us, we will always repair them for free. A pair of jeans in average costs approximately 7,000 liters of water from cotton seed is planted to it has been washed for the last time. So if you take that average number and say, okay, for every time you have a reason to throw it out and you bought a new pair, in a store like us, we are repairing plus 1,000 pairs per year. So that's just approximately 3 jeans per day, 21,000 liters a day of water if they were thrown out and a new pair of jeans would be bought. If you start adding it up, it's millions of liters of water that we are saving in our little store. If you convert it into the industry, are tremendously numbers. Since we became B Corp certified in October last year, it has given us some tools to be a little more structured. So when it comes to talking about sustainability, we don't think we are sustainable. We have to make sure that the products that we are carrying lives up to the standards that we have defined. And right now, our B Corp is helping us defining these things. It has made a more structured way of working around these. Our biggest point in terms of that will be our repair service. It makes sense that we are saving the resources. It makes sense for people to make their product lasting longer. What business you're building for the future should be something that should be able to embrace the future and not just build a unicorn and then you become rich and I don't believe in that future. Of course it will be there, but I'm not gonna take part of it. I believe in a different future where we have to adapt to both responsibility on what you can do in action personally, but I also think we will meet restrictions and how far can we produce things so we are limiting the shipping or the transport. I fear suddenly my grandchildren, what kind of water situation will they be in when we know the fact that water will be a very high demanded product, or is today, but we will just have a limit of it unless, we start doing something in the industry that I'm in. So when the pandemic hit Denmark, 11 September 2020, there were people lining up, hoarding totally unnecessary things as toilet paper. We are gonna fight over a piece of paper. So if reality hits, how will we act as the most greedy species on the planet? And that's what I care about, how we as human beings will be able to adapt and accept and embrace the countries that will disappear because the water level will raise. There will be people without a country. How will my country or how will the world society embrace those people? Because it's my responsibility. And that's what I care and that's what I very much fear about. I think we have seen on a small scale pandemic some habits or some mentality that I don't like if this becomes more serious. And that is not what I will experience. This is what my future generation will experience. And that's what I really think should be a part of, I would say, world agenda. One of my biggest goals is to bring awareness to the end consumer. I strongly believe that it's in the awareness that we are able to make the right choices. It can be having the deep dialogues with our customers in the store. It is very much in the dialogue where we make the biggest change. I want more stores like me, because that means that there are a movement in the people, that they are ready to adapt a more conscious habit. Do I think we act enough on the knowledge now in terms of the future? No, I don't. And for that, I'm sorry that we have all the knowledge in the world. We don't adapt the knowledge fast enough, in my opinion. And for that, I would say I'm sorry that we are that bold and that arrogant towards the future generations. So that's our climate story.